Good morning, everyone. So I'm currently en route to driving home to Vegas. It's been about an hour. It technically doesn't really count. It's only been like half an hour since I was already at MJ's house, which is like 30 minutes from UCLA anyway, like 45. But I have about 3 more hours to go. I'm at a Starbucks right now getting some green tea, peach green tea lemonade, just to help me through the ride. And I'm gonna get a little bit more, and then I'm gonna get some gas. The lighting is just not working. But yes, I'll just vlog in the car, and I'll do a driving vlog for you all later. Hey everyone, so I just got gas, and I will be doing a driving vlog later. But I'm just gonna get on the road right now, and then I'll do it when it's like a really empty, like boring desert road. But yeah. Alright, hi everyone. So I'm driving, I think, how much time do I have left? Oh, my maps. About an hour and a half to go. So I'm gonna talk to you all for like a half an hour, maybe something like that, maybe like 20 minutes, something like that. But yeah, so I still don't understand why you all love my driving vlogs so much. I don't know, I guess this is like a new thing, or I don't know, or apparently you all like just hearing me ramble while I drive. If you can see out the window, I really have no idea what angle this is at since I'm driving, and I can't use my pop-out screen, just the way like it's mounted onto my car. But basically, I'm driving through the desert, driving from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, because that's where I'm from. So I'm thinking, first off, I need help. I have like the perfect topic for today on what I want to talk about, or some things I want to talk about. But comment down below requests for driving vlog topics for when I drive back from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. So that will be a longer one, just because my internet at my school is faster than my internet is at my house. So I don't want to make this vlog too long, because then it'll take forever to upload. But anyway, enough of me rambling. Let's go ahead and talk. I really wanted, okay, well the whole reason I'm going home is obviously to visit family, mainly my dad and Peaches and my cousin, and then lots of friends that are in Vegas as well. So I'm very, very excited to go home. I haven't seen my dad in like a month and a half, which normally isn't a big deal, because like, you know, I'm gone all of summer, or sorry, all the school year. But this is the first summer that I'm not home in Vegas, so it's super, super weird, and I just got really homesick, and I really just miss my dad, also because it's the Olympics, and every single year my dad, I'm getting like teary-eyed just talking about like my dad, but basically every year we watch the Olympics together, so it's like a tradition. We always have like food, and we just watch the Olympics like day in, like, and at night, like day in, day out, and it's great. Like, it's another bonding thing for us, because we can relate to the Olympics. Like, both of us can. Like, my dad loves soccer and he loves the World Cup, but I don't get into it as much as he does. So that's why the Olympics is a lot more special to us, since like we both are super, super into it. We love watching swimming, gymnastics, and track. I think that's what a lot of people like watching, those like the really popular sports. But Dad also loves beach volleyball and volleyball, like watching that. So with all that, I wanted to talk about my dad in today's driving vlog, just so you all can get a better feel of our dynamic and, you know, the relationship that I have with my dad. My dad is, I know I've talked about it before, like briefly mentioned that my dad is my hero. He is my everything, my inspiration, my role model, like everything I aspire to be, for so many different reasons. Just my dad's story. Hold on, this car, why are you going so slow? Why? But basically my dad is just a remarkable person. Like, I've never met anyone, let me just turn up, I'm so emotional. But basically my dad's just so incredible. So a little more about my dad. He grew up in Vietnam with five brothers and sisters. His dad passed away when he was very, very young. He barely remembers his dad too much. He remembers like a couple things, how his dad would spoil him and, you know, give him lots of like candy and like toys. But once his dad passed away, my grandfather, which I never met of course, passed away, like my dad didn't have any of that anymore. He struggled as a child through abusive like uncles and things like that, and with his mom like being single, like, you know, she was dating and stuff, so he never really had that like father figure in his life, and so he struggled a lot. finished, I believe it was 8th grade or 9th. No, I think it was 10th grade actually. 8th or 10th grade. It's an even number. That's all I remember. I think it's 10th grade. So that's like high school. He had to drop out to help work, to help support the family, which was like huge, you know, like having, I think, 6 kids and just having a single mom at that time in Vietnam, which is a very poor nation. Like, it was very difficult for him, and like the family. So he had to drop out of school. And the thing is, my dad loves learning so much, and he regrets so much that he like wasn't able to pursue education. He always tells me like, oh, I was really good at school, I was like top of my class and blah blah blah. And so that's why he always pushed me so hard in school, because he knew the importance of an education, because he wasn't able to get one up till 10th grade. But anyways, so my dad dropped out of school and had just worked. He did whatever job was necessary. At one point, he was just driving wines, I believe, like wines and liquor, to sell from like the big city into the village, and the villages into the big city. And he would bike sometimes, or he would use like the one motorcycle the family had. Like, he would just do it all. And my dad is the 2nd eldest of the family, but he's always taken that leadership role, so that I'll come into play later. But basically, my dad did that for a lot of years. And then when the war broke out, the Vietnam War between I guess the United States and like Vietnam. It's a proxy war, but okay, yeah. Hold on, let's see. This car is also going very slow. I would like to pass you, dear car. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get home, and you're going really slow, and that doesn't cut it for me. So, okay. But basically, oh, now you go fast. Really? When I'm beside you, you go fast? I can't with the cars. Okay, you literally. This lady decides to accelerate the more, like, get up to the speed limit. Anyways, okay. So the war broke out, and then my dad, I can't remember what age. I gotta find it, but I think, or I'll ask him later. I think it was like 22, 23. I really don't remember that well. But he knew that he had to do something. He had to get out. He knew that this just wasn't good, like being in this, obviously, a war situation, as well as being in such a poor nation. He wanted to, you know, do more for the family. So he decided that he wanted to escape Vietnam, and how he did so is remarkable. He literally had to literally go to the ocean and swim out to ships that were leaving Vietnam, and he stowed away on one of the ships. And like, everyone was doing this. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people were doing this in order to escape the war, and just escape like the extreme poverty and bad conditions of the country. So my dad like swam miles, or yeah, like miles, stowed away on a boat with like a bunch of other you know, like Vietnamese men around his age, like early 20s and stuff, who were also trying to escape the war. Got on the ship, and at this time lots of neighboring countries were taking the Vietnamese refugees because they knew how bad it was. So he ended up going to Indonesia. This is the first time my dad has ever stepped foot outside like the vicinity of like his village and the city. And like, it's so crazy to think that he went to a country he didn't, like, I barely even knew like what Indonesia meant, because like technology at the time wasn't as great, where you know, you could Google something and see how a country looked like, or what language they speak, or what food they eat, or you know, whatever it may be. You didn't have that luxury back then. So he literally just swam, hopped on a ship, and all right, let's see where it takes me. And it took him to Indonesia, and he worked there for I think 6-7 months as a busboy, and like a not really a cook, but like he would help out, and that's how he'd get his meals and stuff. And somehow, I still don't really know the process, but it was basically just yeah, a lot of nations were taking refugees. He was able to get documents to go to Canada, and so he waited and worked, and then the day came for, all right, let's go to Canada. So they took like 20 like Vietnamese refugees there and shipped them all to Canada. And he remembers getting, he tells me all the time, stepping out from here. So obviously like Vietnam, Indonesia, all those areas are very hot, tropical regions of the world. And flying to Canada, he literally had shorts, a shirt, and he had like a little bag they gave him with like, you know, socks, toothpaste, a toothbrush, and I think like $10 or like Canadian dollars. Like he had like, you know, like bare minimums to get him to Canada. And he remember he always tells me like the moment I stepped out of the airport and realized, oh crap, it was cold, I was like shocked, because like also you grow up like your entire life not knowing about other climates and other things like that, and so he just, all right, it's cold here, well crap, I should probably go buy a jacket now. So like that's just crazy for me to think, like I would never be able to survive in that situation. But basically in Canada, my dad worked for a couple years, I don't remember exactly how many, but he adapted. There were other Vietnamese you know, refugees who were there who were teaching him, you know, English and helping him, and they were only there for about like less than a year, but they were helping him, teaching him, getting him a job. And then after he stayed there for a year, there were more refugees, and he again took that leadership role and would help other refugees. Now also going back to like my family in Vietnam, with technology like being so bad, not bad, but just not developed as it is like today, they had no idea if he survived or not. Like you know, all right, our son or our brother is gonna swim out and he's gonna try to escape our country, and hopefully we hear back from him. If not, all right. And so once my dad, I can't remember if he sent his first letter, I think it was Indonesia, he sent his first letter after like 4 or 5 months. He was able to like, you know, get postage and like send letters home, and he remembered getting his first letter back from home and like crying, because like first one, they know that he's okay and like they miss him and just everything like that. It's so crazy, like you not being able to tell your family, hey, I'm alive, hey, I made it, for months, you know, like that's also insane considering I'm texting people constantly, you know. But basically, okay, my dad worked a lot in Canada. He worked as a busboy, he worked as my favorite was berry farm like harvester, so he would harvest like blueberries and strawberries and raspberries, things like that. And he would tell me stories about how he did that and how he was like one of the fastest like pickers, like with all his little techniques that he used to do. And then he had a great uncle that lived in California, and when he got to Canada, he was able to get in touch with him. And my great uncle was like, okay, if you can, you know, get documents, come to America and I'll take care of you. And, you know, somehow my dad was able to like, you know, go to the embassy and get like refugee papers to go to the United States. And like my great uncle took him in. So his uncle, my great uncle, to this day, my dad's so humble and so grateful to this uncle, because he literally just swooped him home and like took care of him and like helped him, you know, assimilate him to like, you know, American culture in regards to like food and language, and you know, getting him a good job. And after that, like, you know, 10 years later, my dad was, you know, on his feet. He was in this new world and he assimilated very well, to the point where he's like, okay, I am ready to go on my own and move to Las Vegas. And he wanted up. Speaking of which, he's calling me now. Alright, that's so funny. He called, he's like, hey, where are you? And make sure to drive safely. I'll see you in a little bit. Nope, I don't want music right now. Okay, there we go. Okay, but yeah, so then my dad decided, at the time he was working at nail salons, and he decided, okay, I want to go to Vegas and I want to open a nail salon. So my dad opened one of the very first nail salons in Las Vegas. And the story, I remember like we visited the first, you know, nail salon he ever like built, and he like showed me that he built everything with his like 2 bare hands. He did all, like, he found a spot, it was really, really cheap, you know, he begged the landlord if he could take it. He did, and he was able to literally build up a nail salon. He did all the electrical work. He showed me the fans he installed like by hand. He did all the plumbing. He like painted everything. Like he did everything for this store, built it up and made it a success. And then after that, he decided to do more. So my dad opened a bunch of different nail salons in Las Vegas. I think the total of like 6 or 7 that he's like run, built, or like, you know, been a part of. So everything with literally the clothes on his back, and was able to, you know, come to a whole new country, assimilate so well to the point where like he was able to build businesses and be a success. Like my dad is a great success to this day, and it's so remarkable that he got there from what he had and all the challenges he had to face. So that's why like my dad is like my hero. And going back to like the leadership role, he's still I don't know like if most cultures have this, but like in Vietnamese culture there is more of a like the family structure. Families are very big, so you often have like an alpha, the best way to put it, or like someone who's in charge. It's usually the eldest son. But like I said, my dad is the second eldest son. His older brother actually passed away when I was in 2nd grade, so it was, I guess, very recent in the scheme of my dad's life. But my dad's always been alpha from a young age, you know, quitting or like dropping out of school to like work to help the family. And even the moment he came over to Canada, any extra money he had, he would save a little, and then the rest he'd send back to Vietnam, like to help, you know, his brothers and sisters and everything like that. So my dad's amazing. So to this day, like my dad is like completely in charge of like our family. He like does everything and still helps support everyone, and it's just like what my dad does is amazing, along with like raising me. Like I think I turned out pretty solid. So but that's all my dad was, that he was able to raise me as a, you know, as a single dad. My parents divorced when I was, I think like 3, a little earlier than that, somewhere around there, I don't know, 3, 4-ish. And my entire life, my dad, it's always been like me and my dad. His entire family is still in Vietnam, so that's why we used to visit all the time. We haven't recently, but my dad talks to them every single day. But we do have my cousin that's here, so she's the one that's living with us. It's actually my dad's little sister's daughter, so she's here as an international student, going to college here. So that's kind of how that worked out. But like my dad raised me all by himself, and with no one else. Like I had no grandparents growing up. I didn't have any siblings, obviously, because I'm an only child. I didn't have aunts, uncles, or anyone. It was just my dad and I. So that's why I'm so incredibly close with my dad, because, you know, we're all each other has, really. So that's kind of the story of my relationship with my dad. That's why we are so close. I mean, it was definitely hard at some points. Well, first of all, props to my dad for giving me the period talk. That was awkward. It's so funny because he still doesn't call them like pads or like tampons. He like calls them diapers. It's so embarrassing. He's like, oh, do you have enough for the women diapers? And I'm like, yeah, Dad, thanks. But obviously, being a strict parent since I was like literally his like, you know, little baby girl was the only one. He was very strict. We're into like middle school and high school, so I mean, we were always close. And of course, like, I always loved him. But there were times that were very difficult with him being so overprotective and so strict. But our relationship has only gotten so much better throughout the years. Like, the moment I went to college, everything just got, like, exponentially better between us. I mean, they were already great, but, like, it got exponentially better. Just, I feel like moving away from home, being independent, and I don't know, I feel like all that just changes the dynamic with your parents. You know, they miss you more, they appreciate you more, they love you, they know that you're growing up now. Hey, they did a good job, like, you know, you turned out all right going to college. So it's like, it's really cool to think about that. But okay, I have no idea how long I've been rambling for, but it's probably been a long time. So, but I hope you all enjoyed this little driving vlog of me talking about my relationship with my dad. Comment down below any other topics you want me to talk about for next time. The idea I have right now when I drive from Las Vegas to Los Angeles is like it's not really a draw my life, because clearly I'm not drawing anything, but like talking about my life, like doing a draw my life but without the drawing part. So just explaining my life while I drive, or even like a summary of my life. I don't know what you all want. Comment down below and let me know. But alright, I'm gonna go ahead and drive the rest of the way home, and I'll vlog when I'm home and we get to surprise Peaches, so that'll be exciting. So I'll vlog later. I'm home, so look look who it is. Oh, yep, all right, sure, just sit all over me. It's Peaches. Yeah, she got all excited. I just carried all my stuff inside. Yeah, you're so surprised. You thought it was Dad, but it was me coming home. Oh, I missed her so much. Fatty. Psst. Peaches. Oh, love you, love you, love you, love you. Alright everyone, so the entire night I've just spent with like family and everything like that. We have like a bunch of people over and I'm watching the Olympics, just had food. Really casual first night home, but the vlog's already super long from that long driving vlog. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end it here. I'm not really doing anything else special, so I hope you all enjoyed and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.